Good morning, put on your happy face. Good morning to you. Okay, so let's talk about Kyberlight. Yay, Kyberlight. Alright, who out there owns a Kyberlight? Wow, that's a lot of people own Kyberlight. Wow. Well, Kyberlight is sort of a bit of a odd duck in the saber community. It's a fully customizable system of sabers that allows you with a single standard hilt. This is the basic silver model, and I have replaced the emitter, the shroud, and the pommel with my own unique take. The you know they are under in the ugh. Start over. Think, compose your thoughts. All right. So if you go to the Kyberlight website, you've got different um, different sections of their site, and you can buy your hilt, which currently consists of the base model, and this one, the gold hilt. And they also have accessories, and that's where you buy your emitters, you buy your shrouds, you buy your pommels. Or you can buy a kit, I believe they call it the Master Pack or something to that effect, where it has all the doodads and thingamaboingers and all the accoutrement that you might want for your saber. Not all of them, though, obviously, because that'd be a huge box, but it has a lot of them, enough to get you started in your Kyberlight experience. And that's basically how the system works. I think I did a review on the Kyberlight, this model right here, super basic video, because there's a lot of Kyberlight videos out there that really get into it. So this review isn't about this guy. This review is about this guy, what I received yesterday, and this is the gold hilt model, currently on clearance, and it is soon to be no longer available, to the best of my knowledge. And I think once they cease and desist from producing this hilt, you won't be able to purchase it ever again. So, and limited supplies are available currently. So if you want one, go nuts, go get one, because I got this yesterday, and this is such a seriously pretty saber, even with just the basic attachments. I mean, when this arrived, it didn't have a blade, and the accessories, the base accessories, always come attached. So you will have it with this pommel. You'll have it. This is actually a shroud, a removable shroud. Um, which is nice because it has kind of this opening here which reveals the grooves in the hilt, whereas my other one just kind of is enclosed and doesn't reveal that. So this is a nice effect if you like that whole sort of loosely based Qui-Gon Jinn ish, vaguely Qui-Gon Jinn ish sort of styling. At the very least, it's an old Republic kind of appealing sort of design, and I like it. And then it comes with this standard emitter, which is actually see, this is actually built into the hilt, and this shroud, this emitter just kind of like inserts onto it and then secured with this greeble right here. So if you wanted to swap this out, you'd have to basically remove the greeble, undo the blade retention screw. This slides off. You can replace it, replace all these doodads and thingamabongers. In order to swap out the shroud, you would have to remove this screw. Weirdly enough, this screw, for some reason, is just silver. And I think the reason why that they just went ahead with silver is because if you're going to be swapping out the screw with a new screw, because these screws aren't the greatest, I will warn you, if you're going to get in there with an Allen wrench key and undo any of these screws, be very careful, because I find that the metal that they're made out of is rather soft, and they do tend to kind of like deform and strip a little bit, which makes it really difficult to remove them. Actually, on my base Kyberlight here, these screws are pretty much, as maybe you can see, and it's not quite that apparent, but it is definitely here. You can't remove the bits and pieces anymore. So this is pretty much, it is what it is right now, which is fine because I'm perfectly happy with how I have this one equipped, and I was going to keep it that way anyway. Anyway, so to remove the shroud, you essentially have to unscrew, remove the pommel, take this screw out, take the blade retention screw out, then this just slides off. You replace with a new one, replace this, put your pommel back on, and your GTG. The thing you have to be aware of is you want to align the holes with the various and sundry holes on the hilt here. So you replace your pommel with whichever pommel design you like. Currently, I'm kind of, until I have a windfall and find myself with some more money after I buy like a few other things, I'm just going to keep this like it is now, because it kind of gives me, what do you call I can't remember the knights that guard the the knights that guard the Jedi Temple. This is kind of has that kind of vibe going on. So let me give you the visual tour, then we'll go into the electronics. So right now I have a 32-inch blade equipped on here. It was the original blade that came with my other Kyberlight, which now has a 36-inch blade, but the 32-inch blade is just fine for this saber. I quite like it. Now, the one thing you need to be aware of on this model, and probably on the original, the emitter on the original Kyberlight, the non-gold version, is these things are really sharp. So you have to watch out for that. I've actually, this one right here has burrs on it, and yeah, you can really do some damage to yourself. So just be aware of that. So visual tour. Nice little choke point develops here just from having this this emitter and this shroud on here creates a choke point that you wouldn't normally see. This greeble here, this is screw, it can come loose, and this thing can be a bit rattly, so just be aware of that. You can see that on here, you don't have to deal with that little greeble screw. Instead, it has a blade retention screw, which is nice and recessed, and I have had no issues with this coming loose. I've never dueled with this, but I've swung it around plenty of times, and I've accidentally hit a few things, and but nothing's come loose. So yeah, this is a good situation here. On-off switch. This is the switch that you use to select your. You cycle through the colors. Recharge port. This also has a mute function. Saber comes with a flash on clash, which is, you really have to wail on the blade. It's not like other sabers where you can just sort of get the flash on clash to engage, at will. This you have to actually really whap something. It doesn't have blast or block. It doesn't have a blade lockup feature or anything like that. Just has that flash on clash as an effect, and full RGB with a lot of color choices. And moving down, here we go. This is what you're gonna get if you buy one of these. And sorry, I'll stop singing. I really like the design of the Covertech wheel. It's really, really cool. Reminds me a lot of sort of the aesthetic that Saberforge uses. Ultra Sabers tends to use a really, really plain Covertech. I like something with a little bit more flourish on it, a little bit more aesthetic design qualities, and this is really, really cool. I like it. I like it a lot. And a very, very basic pommel, but it works. It's sort of like a Obi-Wan or a Skywalker, pommel on steroids, and stretched. Anyway, so let's turn this thing on, and then I'll cycle through the colors, because I'm sure someone out there hasn't seen all the colors on one of these yet. Here we go. Swing sound without the swing. Anyway, so yeah, the swing's a little bit sketchy. It doesn't really it doesn't operate necessarily when you actually swing the saber. It's sort of works when it wants to, but at the price point of this saber, you really can't expect too much, and it's just fun. That's what it's meant to be. It's just fun. Anyway, so this is on. Here's your mute. You just hit this twice. Turn it back on. To change the font, this is my preferred font. I'll give you a listen. I'm not gonna swing it around, so just get the general feel. So that's not too unpleasant. But then there's this. Get ready. All right. Speakers down. Speakers down. Speaker alert. This is enjoyable. Yeah, that's as shrill as it gets. So I never use that font, that sound font, because anyway. So going through the colors. Not that it really matters because you can't tell on camera, but sort of a very very light pink. This is a really really nice pink. I like this pink a lot. Now keep in mind that the blade for Kyberlight, it's very very thick wall. It's probably one of the single toughest. Hold on. There we go. One of the single most durable blades in all of the saber kingdom. I've seen people drive over them with trucks, hit them with tools. I haven't seen anybody shoot at one yet, but that's something that someone could do. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, they're tough, and you're not gonna break one. You'll break the electronics in the saber before you break one of these blades. In fact, listen to that. It's like hitting wood. Anyway, the thing that they don't do is they don't put a diffusing film, so the light kind of travels unevenly up the blade, and some of the colors just simply don't work. But that's okay, because for $200, actually this on sale was something like $119 plus shipping, worth every penny, I think, because I love this thing. I love both my Kyberlights, but for some reason this one's like really, really appealing to me. Okay, so back on focus. Colors. Okay. So like an almost non-existent super duper light blue that just like dies at the end. This one doesn't work very well. This is kind of like a lime color, I guess. It's not too bad. It's pretty bright. A yellow. The yellow is really nice. I don't know if this is kind of like a limey yellow, but yeah, it's kind of like a limey yellow. A really, really nice red. Red really works well on this one. Yes. This is kind of almost a Sunrider's Destiny kind of color, kind of like an aquamarine, sort of a slightly bluish green, and it lights up pretty well. This is very nice. And then you get kind of their version of white, your Ahsoka Tano color. This is nice. This is super bright. I don't know what this color is other than maybe it's like a silver or a frost. It's okay. You have your Guardian Blue. Not too bad. Fairly bright. Another red. And this red is not as brilliant as the other one, but it's still quite good. Not really. I don't know if this is like an... Yeah, it's not an orangish red. Purple. Arctic blue. This is sort of my preferred color. This is really nice. Let me see. You got your consular green. This is one of the best colors on this blade. Green's not really my thing, but on the Kyberlight it's very nice. And I think I've cycled around. I think this is maybe what I started with. No, whatever that last color was, it was almost kind of like a white. This is almost like this is another sort of light pink deal. And then back to this sort of lime green where I've defaulted. Let's see, purple, yellow. All right, so I've gone all the way around. Let me just get back to something that I've been liking. Where are you? All right, we'll stick with that because for some reason yellow blades are kind of doing it for me lately. Okay, things to mention. This did kind of come a little bit scuffed up. I've got a, if you can see it, kind of a blemish here. I mean to go in there with some kind of like maybe just alcohol and a soft rag to see if I can clean that up. I don't know if it's glue or an imperfection in the paint, but that's there and that's immediately noticeable. But again, on clearance, I don't know. It's like I just anytime I get a saber and it's got some kind of like quality issue as far as aesthetic appearance, I just chalk that up to weathering and battle damage, and I figured eventually it's gonna get beat up anyway. So who cares, right? Um, so essentially that I think that pretty much covers all the basics. Oh, you probably let me see if I can get the Flash on Clash to work. There we go. So it doesn't always work. As you see, you really have to wail on it. And that, I think, is pretty much that. It does come with a recharge cable. It has an AC adapter that you plug into a wall rather than plugging into a device. And recharge time is about 2 hours, and this thing will stay charged for a good long while. I actually haven't even recharged this since I bought it. It's been going like gangbusters, and I've been kind of carrying this around along with my Ranger, just kind of like swinging around a lot. This is a very, very comfortable in the hand saber. The one thing, oh, another thing, I keep saying the one thing. It's not the one thing. It's probably like the eighth thing you need to be aware of is there's no locking mechanism for the shroud. You can see there's no screw holding it in place, so it does tend to move around. A lot of people have solved that. You can put like a little bit of tape in here or an O-ring. I think tape, maybe a couple layers of tape just inside of here would probably keep this from moving around if that's an issue for you. I don't really care. As far as what the hilt came with, it just came with the recharge adapter. It came with the standard Allen wrench keys, spare screws, and pretty much nothing else. But it did come in the standard Kyberlight box, which is rather long. I was kind of thinking that maybe this would come in a box that was sort of more just hilt size, but the way they market themselves is they really want you to purchase Kyberlight swag and material. So their box is kind of set up to be reusable, has this nice custom fit foam, and they give you on the box all of these storage spaces. There's your adapter recharge thing, and they give you a place to keep the blade and various and sundry accessories, because they want you to have storage. Because the whole point of the system is to be able to swap out things as you go to suit your desire. That's what the system's based on. You see everything that's available to you. This is what the Master Pack normally comes with. The Night Pack only comes with like maybe not even like a third of what you see here. And you've got your instructions. This is actually a really useful card. This is very, very welcome. So it's a really, really simple sort of concept and a simple company. Their shipping is incredibly fast. Their service is marvelous. Anytime I've had to talk to them, they've been super helpful. And the thing you need to understand is that when you purchase a Kyberlight, you're not getting anything screen accurate. That's not what's intended to be. You're not getting the most advanced saber on the market. It's not meant to be. It's not meant to be. A Corbanth equipped with crystal shard, blabbity blue, with a any of the more advanced like motion sensing, apparatus or anything like that. It's just meant to be fun. And fun is what life is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about work. It's not supposed to be about accruing wealth. It's supposed to be about having fun, because you only live one life. And once that journey is over, well, as far as I'm concerned, it's over. So try to have fun, and don't criticize too much. I say this after a couple days ago. I posted a video where I ragged on Saberforge, but I've had another commenter give me a fine suggestion for possibly remedying that. So that's something I'm going to explore very soon, and maybe I would be happy again and have a functioning Redeemer. Let's see what happens. At any rate, I'm going to bid you adieu, and I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And if you enjoy the video, comment, like, subscribe, and that is all I have to say about that. Let me just give you a glamour shot here, you know what I mean? Ooh, now that's the good stuff. Everybody have a wonderful day. TTYL. Bye.